Hi everyone and welcome to Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition, Deathinitive difficulty walkthrough. This is part 11, The Breach. Now this is kind of like a transitional stage, not stage, but it's kind of open world, so you have to go from point A to point B to get to the next part of the real main quest that is called the Lord of Bones. So that's where we're going. The next part, part 12, would be the Lord of Bones. Well, probably part 1 because it's a longish quest. And I was just thinking if show you this breach exploration or not, but you know what, I will, because there are a lot of techniques, new tools. For example, the grappling hook that I'm using, and some new puzzles that you haven't seen before. And I showed you a kind of exploration video. I think it was the third video in this series. It's going to be a long series because the game is long. It's more than 20 hours if you hurry. I will say it can be longer. And we're going to complete most of the side quests that involve bosses at least. And we're going to complete at the end of the main quest. We're going to do the Crucible. Now, talking about Crucible, the other time I was talking with Vic over Twitter about how there is nothing at all to record in January, February and March, because on April he's going to record Uncharted 4, as will I, and I'm also going to record Dark Souls 3. So the problem is mostly January, February and March, though I think he will cover Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider. I don't even fucking know the name. Rise of the Tomb Raider, that's right, Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's gonna cover that one, so if you guys wanna watch our probably a really good walkthrough of that game, check out Vic's channel as always. In my the council part of my home channel, you can see all the channels that are kind of my favorite ones, and any of those channels is a recommended channel by me, so check them all. So yeah, I'm not gonna cover Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I'm going to give you the reasons why I'm not gonna cover it like right now. I'm offended by it, and you're gonna say, okay, you're offended, but does that really matter to someone? No, it doesn't really matter, but it matters to me. I do not like anymore these fucking arrangements of a few times, like months. What was it even, the arrangement of Rise of the Tomb Raider? Like 3 or 4 fucking months? Did it really make any difference for the game? Like when it releases on PC, it's going to fucking die on on Xbox One. It's going to die. And when it releases on PS4, it's even going to outsell the Xbox One version. I just don't get it. I don't get this timed exclusive things. They feel so ancient for me. Like, okay, you have the PS4, you have exclusives for the PS4, right? Like Uncharted, which I wish everyone could play. I really do. I don't like that either, but I understand it, right? Sony puts the money, and Naughty Dog is a developer created by, well, kind of created by Sony. Let's just say it like that, or that works for Sony on the present time, and I can understand that. I can understand it more than timed exclusives. I don't think I watched a single time exclusive like in years, and then Rise of the Tomb Raider. Like, what the fuck? Did Microsoft really helped? Like, you know, the case of Bayonetta 2 and the 101, the wonderful 101 and stuff like that. That Scalebound, for example, Xbox One is really putting the money for Platinum to do Scalebound. So I can understand it in that account. I get a part of the money, of course. I can understand when they actually contribute money, but when they kinda go to Crystal fucking Dynamics or Eidos, whatever the developers are, I don't even fucking remember anymore, and they just go with a briefcase and open it and kinda, look, there is a bunch of money here, so can you just release the game for our console, like at least 3 to 4 months? Like, what is that? What the fuck is that? I'm pissed off right now. I'm pissed because when the first Tomb Raider released, I bought it almost day one, and it kind of bothers me. It bothers me that, and I never covered it because I feel like the difficulty is not really worth covering. But if you really want to see a really good walkthrough, again, check Big Benedict's channel, because he did an highest difficulty walkthrough. I don't remember the walkthrough. I don't remember the difficulty either. I know the new one has survivor difficulty or something like that, and they released a few days ago. They released a new difficulty that is called enhanced something. It's basically a difficulty DLC, which disgusts me even further. So once again, as I'm like trying to figure out how to do this puzzle, and I'm sorry guys that you have to watch this, but whatever, right? I just have to say it disgusts me. Eidos or Crystal Dynamics, I don't remember. I don't even remember the developers, but they discussed me with the time exclusive, and they discussed me with a difficulty release on DLC. So I'm not gonna buy the game. I'm just gonna watch the walkthrough. If Pix does a walkthrough on the hardest difficulty, whichever that is, I will watch that walkthrough. I will watch. If he does the cutscenes and stuff like that, I will watch the story there, and if not, I might not even do it. I might not even watch it, guys. I might not even fucking care about this game at all. The only thing that I do know is that I'm not going to buy it for PC or PS4. So I guess that the only way that I could play that game is that if someone gifts it to me, someone gives me the game, but I find that hard to happen as well. So I don't care. I just don't care. So yeah, the whole point of this conversation before I rambled with Tomb Raider was the problem with no releases, and I already talked about this kind of. So the way that I'm going to deal with this is basically a few new walkthroughs. You saw the SWAT 4 already premiered. That's going to be a long one because I'm going to cover the main game and the expansion, because back there they were not called DLCs, they were called fucking expansions, and they were more than the fucking disgrace that is the DLCs of Batman that only last like fucking 30 minutes. Oh my, I don't want to rant again about Batman. I just don't want to talk about it. So yeah, I'm going to cover the SWAT 4 main missions and the expansion. And the expansion, I haven't even played it back then when it released. So I have no clue what the expansion means or is it about. So that's going to be really live, like more live than the main game that I do remember some missions. I don't remember all of them, but I do remember some. So anyway, the most difficult part of that game is the strategy part that you have to do in every single mission, because you really don't know where the enemies are, so you can't prevent the positioning of the enemies in any way, but you can act like a fucking cop and actually cover your corners. And if you're not sure about a room, throw a grenade or something. I'm not gonna talk about SWAT because I'm going to talk about it in the walkthrough itself. So yeah, SWAT 4, Bloodborne Blood Level 4 which I'm really happy to be able to bring it to you guys, because I talked about it a lot and I feel like I've done a lot of Dark Souls, even though I wasn't really talking in my videos. I've done a lot of Dark Souls content, especially Dark Souls 2, believe it or not, because Jesus, I played so much of Dark Souls 1, but I didn't have a channel back then. And I'm going to do something with Dark Souls 2 as well, that is coming really soon. And it's not gonna be a soul level 1, guys. It's not. And you know why? Because what is it for me to show with a soul level 1? What is really for me to show that is new? I mean, I can do it. I can do a soul level 1 entry plus 7. I can do it. I've done it on the PS3 when I didn't have it, when I didn't even have a channel. I can do it here. There is nothing on Dark Souls that is... Now, don't get me wrong, that's really tough to do, but I can do it. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that I can, because I have already done it. So that's the problem. Am I going to bring you a walkthrough that is just me going through all the bosses in soul level 1 entry plus 7 and just explaining what to do? Like, if you will do that, subject yourself to that fucking difficulty, and if you would subject to something like that, which I wouldn't say is wrong, it's fun, it's still fun, then you would have done it already, I think, because Dark Souls had released a long time ago. So I'm just not gonna do a soul level 1 on Dark Souls or on Dark Souls 2. I just decided. I know I mentioned it before, and it's not gonna happen. This is not gonna be a reality. But I'm going to do something with Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 before Dark Souls 3 releases, and it's probably going to be a lot different. And I'm going to really think it over, because I have something in mind, of course, but I want it to be different. I want the content to be a little different than in all the other walkthroughs. It's not going to be so much about difficulty, but more about the story of the games, so you can actually check it out and kinda understand part of the story, so you can go into Dark Souls 3 with a much better mindset, let's just say. And I will also do it live, probably. I will also probably do it live, but I'm going to do as well the online component. I'm going to be online all the time, so I can get invaded. So it's going to be something really unique. Not unique because everything is done with Dark Souls, but it's not gonna be a soul level 1 because there's no point to it. And with Dark Souls 2, which is let's just say a newer game, I'm going to do the same, kind of the same thing, so I can actually get invaded, because I'm not sure if I'm going to get invaded in Dark Souls 1. But in Dark Souls 2, I'm sure I'm going to get invaded. So, but it's going to be difficult as well, don't worry about it. There's going to be challenge involved in this walkthrough. But not the same challenge as you would do a soul level 1 and entry plus 7. But there's going to be challenge, and I'm going to die a lot, so that's sure to come. So those are things that are coming. Also, I didn't forget about Transformers, and I always mention fucking Transformers is coming like some kind of meteor that's going to strike at some point and no one knows when, and I cannot tell you when. This is the problem. I cannot tell you when, because I'm going through the difficulties on Transformers, and I don't want to. You know how you can level up? Maybe you don't know, but you can level up your character and you can grab some weapons, and if you're lucky with the drops, you can really synthesize really strong weapons, and you can make prime difficulty, which is the hardest, a lot easier than it should be, maybe, even though you can one-shot it or two-shot it by most of the enemies. It can be easier in various ways, because if you have a strong weapon, you can destroy the enemies so fucking fast. So I'm trying to find a balance when I can show you good gameplay and not an overpowered main character, and actually show you the levels and the bosses, because I love the game. I think it's one of the best in the year. So I'm trying to find a balance there. I got a little overpowered at one point, so I have to really start some levels again. So I'm kind of trying to find a way, guys, but Transformers will come before April. That's the only thing that I can assure you that is going to happen, before April. This walkthrough, Darksiders 2, is going to end before April. Everything that I'm just mentioning right now, like Blood Level 4 on Bloodborne, SWAT 4, Darksiders 2, Dark Souls 1 and 2, and Transformers, all of that is going to end before April, because I want April free to do Uncharted 4 and Dark Souls 3. So I think I haven't forgot about anything. Take this as another channel update if you want. I think I haven't forgot about anything. I had another surprise walkthrough that is really not a walkthrough, sorry. It's kind of like a live playthrough, but a longish live playthrough that will encompass a long time of adventure, let's just call it. And that is also coming. That is not going to end in April, but it's kind of, I'm trying to find a way to make it fun. Not that it's not fun, but I'm trying to get better at the game in order for me to not be so fucking newbie when I just started the adventure, that you have to endure me learning the game itself, because that's not fun at all. I don't want it to be a blind playthrough. I want it for me to have at least a very basic knowledge, a cemented knowledge, basic but really a real knowledge of the game before I start the adventure. So I'm basically just learning about the game at this point, and not started recording, but that's something that will start as well at some point. So in other news, it's fucking hot, still fucking hot, because it's summer. We are almost at the end of the year, because we'll probably publish this sometime before the end of the year. And I want to thank everyone for watching the Darksiders 2 walkthrough, guys. This will continue. If you're liking the walkthrough, if you're liking the gameplay, even though this special video that it's not really focused, you know, I'm just wandering around and exploring, but I just want to show you a lot of things that encompass the game, because maybe you're not sure, right? Maybe you haven't played Darksiders and you don't really know what's about. And if I just show you combat scenes and bosses, you're gonna think that it's kind of like a God of War, like it's a linear game that you go from point A to B and just doing a level, and then you have a boss. And it's really not like that. It's more like a Metroidvania kind of game, or if you want to call it a Zelda style with bosses and a fighting mechanics close to God of War, I would say. A lot. If I'm going to compare it to God of War, it's a lot worse than God of War, of course. But I really like it. I'm not criticizing the game. I really like it. I really like the equipping of new weapons and armor, and getting better and building your character. By the way, I'm going to respect this character by the next video, and I'm going to show it to you. Actually, maybe not the next video, because the next video will be Lord of Bones, and I'm inside of a flying ship, and I'm not sure if Bulgrim is in that ship. If he is, I'm going to respec. And now you're going to see that I arrive at Bulgrim and I forgot to respec, so I fucked up, because I was planning to respec in this video, but whatever. So yeah, I want to I just ramble away. I want to thank you all, guys, for watching these walkthroughs, and on my other walkthroughs if you do. And of course, if you are a long time subscriber of mine, it's been a year since this channel started, let's just say, going serious with commentary, because I just were kind of screwing around before, just recording bosses and stuff like that with no commentary. And kinda a year going strong. And I want to thank everyone, the new subscribers and especially the old ones that stuck around. And I want to thank you all, and I want to wish you all a good end of the year, guys. This year has been tough on me personally, not in games, and in life. It has been really tough, not because of what happened that I mentioned in the previous video. That's just like another brick in the wall, right? It's not really. It was really scary, but we are all better by now, and we make sure that cannot happen again. So, in that regard, it's not really what I'm talking about. It's just losses. I had a few losses this year, and it has been tough. So, and this channel has kind of kept my mind distracted. Let's just call it distracted in doing these walkthroughs and in doing hard stuff that I raged on, instead of just, you know, plunging into some kind of fucking depression, or, you know, I don't know, doing something weird. I don't want to sound like I'm suicidal, not all. Like, you know, it's just, instead of doing absolutely nothing to get better, this actually helps me with this horrible year. I was just going to call it horrible year, personally, for me. And if I have to talk about games, it has been a kind of, you know, like I said in the What's Wrong With, kind of better year than 2014, but not by a long shot. A lot of remastered and games, and very few that are actually new, kind of like Witcher 3 and Bloodborne, maybe the real stars of the year for me. So again, want to thank you all for sticking around, and if you're new, thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you guys next year. So that sounds cool, right? But I'll see you guys next year, and I wish you all a good new year.